Hey, welcome back. So I just ran here a script which is npm run dev, and that is still me missing the script. Okay, let me write that script at first. So first of all, I have to go on the dist. So that should be node, then dist, then src, src, yeah, that is src, then index.js. So now I can see that location is not founding. I don't know why. So I cannot write escape like this. So if I want to run that index.tss, then I will also get a error. Src index.ts, you can see that also cannot handle. So we need a solution. So we don't want to build our TypeScript to JavaScript, but we want to run that on development mode. So for doing that, there have a packages whose name is node dev TypeScript. So that have a package whose name is ts node dev, and full form is TypeScript node development, this kind of something. So I have to install that as dev dependency. So you can see they have something like save dev as dev dependency. So now what I have to do, I just have to copy that script and I have to run that script here on the src, then index.tss, and you can see that script is run, and that still means server is running. So we have to use that command as script. Okay, so now here I can write something like a script, and inside that script I can make anything, any command, any script. So I just paste that command and that is now working. I wish that should be work, and if there I expect also a error, but I don't know is that error is coming or no. So npm run dev, and yeah, that is working. You can see server is listening. Okay, I just going to delete that dist and I change that to server listening on port 3000. So you can see the new changes is here. Okay, now there have a environment variable, but we are directly writing that port, which is not good. So we are write the port here. So that is port, which is 3000, and now I want to use that port. Now if I want to use that, something like if I make here a console log process dot env dot port, then you maybe see the port. Yeah, but how is it? Yeah, that is possible because we are already use that. So now this time that is showing. Okay, so we have to use that port. So if you want to change that port, you just need to go on the environment variable and you can change it. So that is good. That is really good. Now I also have to make the changes here. Now if I type here the port and server is listening on the port 3000. Yeah, that is good. So our next mission, making the user schema. So in our last video, maybe you see that we are make a dummy user schema, which is not ready for production or development also. You can see I just take here the ID and a name, but that is not enough for use. We have to store username, Telegram ID, balance, and a lot of stuff. So that is not properly ready for using on development also. So I just going to pause the video and I gather what kind of information I have to store for a user. Then I write the field here, and once I write that, I will come back and explain you why I add this. Thank you. Well, so I just ready that user, and now I'm going to explain why I take this field. Here you can see the first three field, which is name, username, and Telegram ID, is his identity, and the next three field, which is balance, refer by, and refer code, is uh, something like some his inform some private thing like refer code balance, that is his private thing, or I don't know, quite similar. And then next two thing is something like his information about when he joined on our mini app and when last time he used our mini app, just kind of something. And on the first and top ID is the ranking like 1 2 3. That is not ranking, that is serial number. Okay, so now I have to build, I have to not build, I have to push that changes mpx prisma db push. So what we can do now, we can convert that to a script. Okay, so I just going to convert that to a script. So that is something like mm, push. Okay, push, and here I make that. So npm run push. Great. So now you can see that is pushing, and that also helped me. I will lose my all data. So now what I have to do, I just have to copy that and use it post reset, so that will clear my all previous existing data. There have only a single table on the database, and that is also clear now. So now if I type npm run dev, sorry, that is not push, that is dev. So now what I want actually, now I want something like I will make a API where user can call that, and user account should be created by using that API. Okay, so for creating a user account, I have to use that something like a post request, and that is something like login. Okay, login. And yeah, for now I just want to see his body, so I return a response which is true, this kind of something, and I console log the body request dot body. And yeah, everything done. Now I don't have to send the response because that is already sending response outside of the try catch, so that is enough for this scenario. So now I have to use that API. So for using that API, I just need to go on the client, and there have the API. No, they are not have any specific API. So what I can do, I can call here something like, okay, so I will go on a better approach or a production grade approach. I just clear everything from here, because you can see here I already declared the variable of this create API, which is base API. Then that means they have more children API. So I now I going to create a children API, and you can see here I already have a file whose name is also API. So yeah, that is the first step to create a API. So here we create a API endpoint which is for user. So I just make something like user.tsx, and here I make user endpoint, that is the variable, and I call here base API dot inject endpoint, and then they have the endpoint which is the builder. And yeah, now maybe I did a mistake, I am not sure. Yeah, now I can make something like login user, which is builder dot mutation, and now here have something like a query, and the query I get argument, and now here I'm sorry, there is a self close return. Okay, now that is something like a login, that is the path name. And the second, that is the method is a post method, and then last one is the body, which is the argument. Okay, now I have to export that endpoint. So what I do, I just go here and create another variable which is user, and here I use that endpoint. Use first of all login user, which is that user endpoint dot login mutation, use login mutation, and then I export default that user. Great. Now I just need to use that. So for using that, I just have to go on this page, and I will clear everything from here. And here I call that user, which is come from api.user, user.login user. And yeah, now I have to call that. So for calling a mutation, I just need to make something like, there have two things. One is trigger, another thing is the value. So yeah, so first of all, I have to take trigger, and the second thing I have to take, which is the data or response. Now, now the question: how can we get the username, user Telegram ID, and user, yeah, and his username out from Telegram actually? And currently we are running our code on the Chrome also. So how can we get that value from Telegram? Okay, so for getting that value, we have to run our code on the Telegram or mini app. So how can I do that? How can we do that? We have to do a port forwarding. I just do a internal port forwarding, which is here I have to write the port 5173. So you can see port forwarding system is running, and yeah, please run that as per as, so yeah, that is run successfully. Now I have to use that. I convert that to public, and I will copy that link, and I go back to the Telegram. So now once I come back to the Telegram, and there have the board, if I go above, there have something like a lot of demo board. One is this one. So I just make that changes, and yeah, I change the link also. So now if I use it, continue, and yeah, is it run successfully? Console log. If that runs successfully, then why I cannot see the display? Hey, my man, there have a p tag. You can see this was a mini app which is currently dark. That's why I cannot see the output. But that is not solve our issue. We are still cannot getting our Telegram username or this kind of something. So for getting that information, we have to use a packages that offered by also Telegram. So you can say that that is Telegram official packages. So for using that, I just have to visit on this website, which is docs.telegramMiniApps.com. And if you click packages, you can find out that all packages for TypeScript, Node, Golang, and CLI also. So we have to use that. There have a lot of TypeScript. So what should I do? I will pick one SDK, or they have two things. One is SDK and another one is SDK React. So which one should I choose? Maybe I can choose that SDK because that is easy to use component. Yeah, I just going to choose this one because that is easy to use. So I download that by using npm, and I install that on my front end because we are running our code, or we are doing port forwarding for our front end. So that's why we have to install that on our front end. So npm run dev. Now if I made here a console log, which is a console log, then web app. Okay, that is not importing automatically, so I can call here web app from what is that, Telegram SDK. And now this time maybe we can use that web app dot, what was the issue, man? I want the user. Okay, So I want to console log that int data user. Is that as a, yeah, that was a function. Now if I am go on this, if I go here, yeah, running, then you can see that is undefined. Okay, that was undefined, but why? Actually, the issue is we are install a wrong Node.js packages. So I am looking this one, tma-dev, that is easier to use. So I just now going to install this one, and yeah, I have to install that, not on development mode. I have to install that for entire application. So I first of all uninstall this one and install, okay, and then I install new one, tma-dev, yeah, this one. So that may take a little bit time. Yeah, successfully done. So now if I want to do a console log here, which is web app dot, we can call user, okay, int data unsafe dot user dot name, first name. Now if I want to see that first name, I just go to the console log and refresh it. You can see that it's refreshing. Oh yeah, I am not run the server yet. So npm run dev. Okay, so I just run the server, and if I refresh this time and open that, you can see the first name is Siam is here. Now one more question is, we have to do that port forwarding for every time? Basically the answer is yes and the answer is no. Now I going to make sure that the answer is no. So for doing for ensuring that, I just go on the this documentation, which is get app link, this one, and you can see the link also from here. So now they have a documentation, and also they teach us how can we get the link as SSL. So you can see they have something like Vite plugin. So that tells me Vite ecosystem provide that Vite JS plugin, basic SSL plugin. It allow launching the application with self-signed SSL certificate on a specific domain. Here is a basic example. After are some additional option you may find useful. Okay, this kind of something. So now that link, okay, okay, I just did that. Okay, so now I just going to use it. I just copy this one and go back to the Vite config, and here I use that plugin. So you can see here that packages is not founding, so I just going to install that package. Now npm install this one. So I just run that command and I am found some error. So for yeah, that give me some error. So I can use this kind of something, and also I can use force. So this time that is run successfully. Now I go back to that documentation, and you can see here that tells me to use that plugin. Okay, so I just go here and use that basic basic SSL. Yeah. Now this time if I run that npm run dev, so you can see here that is run on https nos. Okay, so now you can see here that is telling me that is private, and that is not private, and that is unsafe. Okay, so they have some other documentation like Vite.js official. You can see that tells me something like a plugin to generate an trusted certificate, which is still allowed to access the plugin after proceeding a wall with warning. The most scenarios is recommend to generate a secure trust certificate instead of use it to config. Okay, this kind of something. So now name of certificate, custom trust domain, custom certification directory, this kind of something. So now if I just click here, proceed to unsave this kind of something, I can get the output. Okay, so now I just copy this one and I go back to the Telegram mini app and I will check out is it working or not. So yeah, you can see here that is working, but that is not working because that is localhost. So we have to run that on network. Yeah, there have some other documentation like mcart, and after using that you can see we are getting the value like this and we can take it and also we can use it. So yeah, now if I go above and I just need some time for read the documentation, and once I read that I will come back again. Okay, so that is telling me something like I have to copy that server and I will paste that after that plugin. So now this time you can see they have some issue, so I just have to copy that import and paste that import, and now they have another one which is resolve. I also have to copy that and paste here. Now you can see here that notepad and notefs is not founding, so I have to install it maybe, but I'm not sure. If I copy this one and search on Google, is there have any packages related to this one? So I just search that as npm. Okay, so actually maybe not fs extra. No. I have to install the node here. npm install, the node. Then maybe that should be resolved. I'm not sure. And that also required that forcing legacy per dips. Okay. Now this time I expect that should be successful in install here on these packages. Oh, you have to wait a bit, and if that is not work, I will just simply uninstall that node from this project. So now this time you can see that is fixed. So what I did actually, first of all I paused the video, then I install the nodes types. You can see here npm install types node with again the forcing. So that is currently resolved. So now if I type here npm run dev, what happened? That is making something like this and error. Okay, now if I scroll down more, you can see there have something like a server and I have to enable the host. So yeah, that is host is true. This kind of something. Alternatively, you can use something like this. Okay, so now if I type here npm run dev one more time, that also give me another error which is telling me failed to load the config from Vite config.ts. When start dev says no file on the tma internal frame or this kind of something. So how can I get this file also? It's strange. Okay, maybe I have to do some more research about it. Maybe, I am not sure. Yeah. So now if I disable this one, this field, then what happened? npm random, and that is give me as a link. Is that link work? I copy that and I copy this one. Where is that? My app. Okay, I just go on the my app and I select where's the boatman? My app. Okay, bad genius. What the heck? Maybe bootfeather have any bug currently. That's why I'm not getting the value. Okay, so I just go here and run write this one that, and this time that value is taken. Now if I click that and refresh or do whatever I want, you can see the okay that is existing. Okay, I'm not interested to unpin anything, I just want to cut that. Now if I run this one, you can see about blank. Okay, what happened if we run that on browser. Okay, that tells me your connection is not private. So I need to generate a card and a key. So I have to do a little bit research because I have a lack of knowledge about it. And once I done the researching, I will come back again and restart the recording. Thank you. Well, so I just fixed the issue, and now I will explain how I fixed that issue. First of all, you can see there have something like mcard, okay, which come from Vite plugin. So I just install a new packages which is Vite plugin mcard, and I use that as a plugin. Okay, then I set up here public directory, and also I set up build target. And you can see there also I set up CSS pro preprocessor option and a base link. Okay, so once I set up then if I run this time, I just stop this one and run this time and copy that link and go back to the mini app. You can see that I set up here the same link. If I just go here, you can see your connection isn't private. Attack might trying to steal your information. Basically, that is not. That is my IP address, my network or Wi-Fi IP address. So that is not have any big issue. And you can see here subject issuer, this kind of something, a lot of information which is really for an example domain. Okay, I just go advance and continue to this answer. Now once I go back here, and you can see they have the console log. That means that is perfectly run on Telegram environment, and if we made any changes on code, that should be shown on the mini app. Okay, so I just go back, go on the front end, and here you can see that you can see here that this was a mini app. If I just make something like text is white, now you can see the changes. That is not taking any time, like the, you can see what I can say. Okay, I forget the thing, but yeah, you can see the changes instantly. Now we are interested to pass the user information from our front end. How can we do that? First of all, I just use here a use effect, and I use here this kind of something. Now here I call trigger, and I pass some data. What was that data? That is a web dot initial init data, and you can see that I pass this kind of something, and there are have it something like that is telling me that missing a dependency. So I just add the trigger as a dependency. Now okay, now once I go here and refresh and open the term, okay, first of all, basically my server side is not running currently, so you can see the request is marked as a bad request. So I just run the server and vm run dev. I just run the server, and if I now this time try, I just refresh, you can see there has something like undefined to undefined. So yeah, we have to fix it. So how can we fix that? I just have to go on the index, close other. Now what I want, actually I want the body. So for getting the body, we need to use something, app.use, that is express.json. So now this time I can expect I will get the body. Now again you can see the body is undefined, but why? If I check it, the payload, there have a payload which is this kind of something, but not in organized way. So what I can pass here, actually I can pass here as a object like int. Okay, I can pass here as an object like int, and now this time I can expect that should be get the value on the front end. Yeah, you can see the value here, that is int data. So now we have to decode that int data. Okay, so now the mission is decode that int. but how can we decode it? Actually, there have some other packages. That's where we can decode it. If you take a look, there have something like int data node. So that packages help us to decode it and verify is that user is valid or not. So there have a lot of this kind of tool. I think I will explore everything and I will teach you each and everything A to Z. So till then, you just have to stay on it and subscribe my channel. And of course, you have to like that video. And if you don't have much time and you want to build something, like you want to start a business, or the first pillar is the making the mini app, then you can call me or you can message me on my Telegram. I can help you uh, to make your dream mini app. I just take a little fees, so you can call me on my Telegram. So thanks for watching this video. See you on the next part.